Why is it so important for you to appreciate both the good and the bad times in your life? Welcome or welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, Ty Guidance, and that is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Now, with that being said, because there's no right or wrong way to hold yourself, always and only take what resonates as well as leave the rest. So if it doesn't apply, then that means it's not in line, which means it is not for you, so don't force it. As well as grab your pens, grab your paper, and be prepared to take notes. For today's video, we're going to go over and discuss why it's so important to appreciate both the good and the bad times of your life, so therefore you do not become stuck and stagnant and move forward, as well as some recommendations, some reminders, some disclaimers, and certain things that you should be aware of. So starting off with the disclaimers, the main reason why you should appreciate both the good and the bad times in your life is simply because they are memories. You have to realize that nothing in life is going to last physically forever, so just because certain things happen to you in your past doesn't mean it's going to continue to be like that for the rest of your life. Until you realize that you are going through certain chapters and certain lessons and you're having certain moments in your life, you will continue to hold on to memories, thoughts, and mindsets that you need to outgrow of, or you'll continue to be attached to them and you won't be able to move forward, and that's why you feel stuck and stagnant. So this second disclaimer is knowing that you need to breathe. You have to learn how to be present. What has helped me along my healing journey was to be present. And of course, cliche, tomato, tomorrow, but if it was really cliche, people wouldn't be saying it. Nothing in life is cliche when it's the facts and it's the truth. But a lot of you all love to be lied to. And over here at your favorite mental health specialist, who's here to motivate, inform, and educate, I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. So if you like things to be sugarcoated, go to the candy store or sit and share this video to somebody who likes authenticity, who's really real. Because if we're gonna be for real, you have to understand that until you realize why you're having to go through these ups and downs, you won't be able to see the bigger picture. And that's the third disclaimer. Life is so much greater and bigger than you. Now, of course, when you have lived a certain type of way, when you're used to thinking a certain type of thinking and thoughts, and more than likely they're not the best, that's all you're familiar with, that's all you know. But once again, just because there are negative thoughts in the world doesn't mean that there aren't positive thoughts in the world or neutral thoughts in the world. Like, there's so much to life, but if you limit yourself, you won't be able to realize that you can transmute that energy. So the fourth disclaimer is knowing that have fun, appreciate life. Yes, you may have been broke 2 years ago. You don't have to be broke for the rest of your life. Like, you don't have to be somewhere you don't want to be if that's not where you want to be. You don't have to stay in environments or situations if it's not serving you. So lastly, before I get into the recommendations on how you can go about doing that, you have to appreciate what you have experienced. If you didn't like certain things in your past and you're still able to live, you can change them. Now, of course, when you're going through things, nobody wants to hear that. You, like I said, may not have the vision to see it all the way through, but I can guarantee you, and I'm speaking from experience, what has helped me along my healing journey was to realize that, you know what, I did survive some of these situations where I thought it was the end of the world, and it's not to invalidate your emotions or mine, but because I validated my emotions, and because you have to work on validating your emotions, you will realize, okay, well, I'm alive, things could have been worse, and I need to learn from it. Don't allow these situations to make you bitter, because you're not supposed to be overly attached in the first place. And that's going to lead us into the first recommendation. You have to work on your codependency issue, babe. Subconsciously, you have wounds, whether they're childhood wounds, whether they're mom and dad wounds, whether they're insecurity wounds. There's something about you. Okay, and this is why I've been here. You said you wanted to heal. You said you don't have money. You said you need help. You've been asking for a sign and a prayer, and you've been weeping. Here it is. And if you do have the finances, you want to book yourself as your session, make sure you click that link down below and follow me on all my social media platforms. You've been saying that you wanted somebody to be there for you. I have already posted 1,100 plus videos, so what are you waiting for? Enough is enough. This is your sign. Like, you have to realize, like, in order for you to move forward and appreciate what you once experienced, you have to realize how certain things made you feel. Like, you have to be able to speak up. You have to be able to acknowledge how you feel. You do have to validate how you feel, because not every day is always going to be bad. And even if, let's just say, majority of your days have been quote unquote negative or bad, there were some moments in your life where they were good, or you know personally you want your life to be better. So the second recommendation is allowing yourself to accept what it was. Processing what happens. And once again, processing what happens to you is not something that just happens like one day. day within 24 hours, depending on who you are. It may not be as linear for some. Take what resonates, leave the rest. You know what you went through. You know how it made you feel. Because you know what you went through, because you know how it made you feel, you should know, is this something I want to continue to do? Do you want to continue to suffer? Do I want to continue to feel like this? If not, you need to talk about it, because that goes back to the first recommendation. You have this wound. You have some beliefs, whether they were projected onto you, they were deflected based off of your parents, based off of you were taught and shown at school, your parents, I said that already, like people around you, community, or just something you feel like over time, because you may not have been confident, you may not have known who you are, and you're learning who you are right now. So the third recommendation is appreciating both the good and appreciating both the bad by talking about the things that were bad where you know you can improve from, and talking about the good to where you can either continue to recreate those moments or just have a certain level of respect. So for example, I will give you guys both. Me personally, I've realized there aren't any bad things, because that's where I'm at in my healing journey. But for context, something bad that happened to me, or what I thought was bad, was when I was 19 years old. I talked about this on my platform. I got into a really bad car accident that was life and death, and I thought it was bad. I thought it was the end of the world. And the reason why I thought it was bad is because I totaled my car, my physical body, my posture was out of alignment. Like, I dealt with a lot of not support at the time, so I thought it was like a big deal. Like physically, when I got out of the car accident, like that day, I was just like in tears, because I'm just like, bro, I could have died. Like, I saw my life flash in front of me type of vibes. But over time, I had to realize the reason why I thought it was bad was simply because no one taught me at the time how to drive. I only had a limited amount of experiences. So it wasn't until obviously I matured, I practiced, I was able to work on myself, and I was able to learn from that memory in that moment that, okay, I could have died. People die every day in car accidents. I'm blessed and I'm fortunate. So because I'm alive, I'm just going to learn how to become a better driver. I'm going to be as safe as possible. I'm going to hold myself accountable. And good times that I had was, I've had a lot of good times in my life. Like, I'm trying to think of like a really good time. I just say like waking up every day. Like, I have a lot of good moments in my life that I can't just think of like one for some reason. Let me think of one. A good time that I've had recently. You guys, anyways, it's not about me, it's about you. But it's just like, you have good times in your life. Oh, I'll say like a good time. I remember my 10th birthday. That's an example. My 10th birthday, I thought I was the coolest person on the planet. Like, I remember I had a birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese. I'm pretty sure like everybody has a birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese, but like I had a birthday party. I remember like I had the whole, like my parents had the whole table. Like, I just thought it was so fly. I remember that was one of like the best days of my life, having a birthday party. Like, all my friends, like all of my, like my whole entire class pretty much was there. Like, all of my friends were there. My little crush, he was there too at the time. Like, he was the only boy at my birthday party. Other than like the people that I have there. But it was just like, we have moments when we have good times and we have bad times. Like, life doesn't always have to be so dark. And I know like when you're going through it, it is sometimes very much, you don't have the sense of direction, you don't have everything figured out. But it's like, we have to let go of that attachment. Like, feeling the need to know everything will stress you out, because it's like, you're only supposed to know what you're supposed to know when you know it. And when you're an overthinker, because that's what it is, I'm gonna make that into a separate video. When you're an overthinker, that's when you start to become stressed out. That's when you start to doubt yourself. That's when you start to be insecure. That's when you start to lose your faith. That's when you start to question yourself, the God, the answers, and the universe. And I'm not here to force religion or spirituality, but that's what it is. You're a control freak. You have attachment issues. You have to let go of the controlness. You have to let go of the attachment. You have to let go of the insecurities. You have to learn to trust yourself or whatever it is that you practice and worship in. Because if you don't, you're the only person with the resentment. You're the only person who's going to not be able to move forward and hold on to memories and people and places and things that you're meant to outgrow. So lastly, when it's time for you to close the door, allow everything to be where it's at. This is why it's so important to not be overly attached to anything. Not a relationship, not a parent, not materials, not nothing. Because at the end of the day is going to end, and not everything is going to come with you when you leave this earth. And if you realize how valuable your life was, you would live like it's your last. You would make sure that you do the best that you can with where you are and what you have, and just not continue the same cycles. This doesn't mean that when you go through certain chapters and you go through certain things, you're not going to emotionally feel some type of way. Financially, you may not be affected, because we all have. And I'm telling you from experience, once you leave certain people and places and things where they are, instead of trying to overextend it, once you stop ignoring the flags, once you start trusting yourself, once you realize your worth, you won't even have the time and energy and effort to be struggling and suffering, because you're too intentional. You're in alignment with your purpose. The only reason why I feel like a lot of times we're struggling and suffering is because we're not in alignment with our purpose. And I know that personally, but I don't want to make this video too much longer. Let me know what resonated with you. Let me know what you need to work on. I already plugged my social media platforms. Once again, all the information is down in the description box below. If not, follow me on Instagram and on TikTok if you want me to talk about this in real time. Drop the word live. And if not, like I said, book your service in your session. But I love you. You are loved. You're not alone. Thanks for watching. Until next time, peace.